What's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. If you want to be buds, then make sure to grab some suds because today's video is going to be a little bit of a long one. Make sure to smash that beer mug down in the bottom right hand corner so you can be a subscriber, and remember to hit the bell so you can be notified when we post our next video. Not to mention Friday nights, right? Because TGIF Q&A kicks off usually anywhere between 6 and 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so what do I got installed for you guys today is going to be a updated toolbox tour of the US General 56, as well as the Jamestown service cart that I've been rolling and rocking out of. So I'm going to update you on a couple of changes that will happen next week, but I'm going to show you how everything is as of today. So stick around, it's going to be a little bit of a long one. All right, so the first part we're going to kick off with the Jamestown service cart. We'll then work our way over to the US General. And I'm just showing you that I also have my little Monster Mobile cart over here. Fantastic, love having that little thing. Adjustable height, works out well for this. Little camera here on the tripod. Let's go ahead and roll on over to the Jamestown. So on the side, immediately you can notice I got the US General, right? Little magnet can holder, a couple of extensions that go through. 2 of the 3 tray Matco ones. I got 4 of the duals, 1 of the big quads. We got 6 of these hot rods. Those things come in handy. Rebranded Easy Red. We got the Snap-on SAE and the metric and the short stubby Allen. Those are awesome. You guys saw that we had a couple of these magnetic trays we picked up from Matco. A couple of these US Generals. Turn on some light here. I've also got 4. These are all mixed up between Cornwell and Mastercraft, I think. And then we got 4 more over here as well. We got the blue Pittsburgh Creeper. Update on this. Yes, this part is not my most favorite. It does kind of stick into your back, okay? This one is more of my favorite. Nice and smooth, but I do like the trays they have down here. So updating you on the Creeper cost and everything. This one ran closer to 100. I think that was about 80. And that one was about $25 or $35. So for the price difference, I mean, this does work out well. The tires have held up well and everything. It supports me, and I weigh about 210, 205. I have the fender cover here. We got the stethoscope hanging, squirt bottle with some soapy water, and I got a stapler because we had to hang some stuff up in here. All right, here is the Gearwrench locking 33-inch extension. We got that from Jeff for transmission work, as it has worked out well. If I had to take a guess, I've probably had these Tecton 1/2-inch sockets for probably pretty close to a year. We got those from Client Graphics. They have been holding up. You can see for yourself what kind of wear that they see. There was some complaints about the laser etching. They seem to be holding up well for me. All right. Ratchet Central, right? I'm not going to show and tell every single one. You guys can go back through my Ratchet videos if you're curious, but that's kind of where I lay them all in. Sometimes the 90 tooth go in a lower drawer. I'll show you that. Here are the trays out of the 243-piece Gearwrench mechanic set. Love this set. Okay, only had one that was defective within the first week. It has since then been replaced, and I have since then used and abused it, and it has not broke, so that's great. Got these 10-year-old Snap-on Pry Bars, a super long flathead, which you guys probably have seen me set pistons to top dead center and putting this down into the plug hole. So that works great for that. You can also use a long Phillips, like this Craftsman one that also has held up well. I have 1 of these straight Pry Bars. This is a nice Pry Bar. I do like the striking cap capability. We then got the 1/4 inch. This thing is my little workhorse, okay? Made by Matco Tools. I put this thing under some serious tension and pressure and torque, and I force it to do things that it probably should not do. I do have some universal extensions. Tape is my best friend when it comes to these things because I've just never had an extension wobble like this that has worked out well. Not an extension wobble and not a wobble. So, whatever. Safety protection. I have it. I forget sometimes to put it on. A little tray of assorted little adapters and a random socket here. So this is an 8mm impact that I often forget that I have. This is a bore cleaner, so that works out well for certain things. Husky socket that I use for the ARP studs on the 6 liters. And then of course all the other little random adapters in there as well. And then here is a Pittsburgh 3-inch impact extension. Okay, Cobalt Bit Set. Got these bits over here from Cobalt. They do work out well on the little Makita. This is a change. So I'm actually gonna be taking the Makitas home and we're gonna be swapping them out for my Atomic DeWalt platform, okay? So that's an update. Why? I've had one battery break. I don't care to replace it. So those two will go home and the DeWalt Atomic will come here. All right, on the side here, I do have a 30 millimeter 12-point socket for the Toyota axles, nuts, and then there are a series of 1/2-inch extensions, anything between the Gearwrench, a Craftsman, as well as an old Mac Impact one. I've got a 1/2-inch Mac breaker bar. A while back, I gave the baby brother away to a subscriber, and that was a 3/8 one. This is the 1/2-inch snap-on long ratchet. Okay, I've done videos about that. Here's a blowgun, and I like this when I'm flushing the transmission lines out with some trans clean. I've also got, this is the 1/2-inch Gearwrench ratchet that came with this set, but the rest of the set is at the house. I don't use the 1/2-inch sockets here because I'm using the Tekton ones. An O2 sensor wrench. This thing is pretty styling. I'll put the Amazon affiliate link down below for you guys to that tool, and as well as some of the other ones I'm showing you here today. Here's the original, the OG Icon, one of the demo models that was sent out to a handful of YouTubers. I have not warrantied it out. I've loved having it. Haven't had any issues. Here is the goofy handled snap-on ratchet. It was my go-to, now not so much. Other go-tos have been whatever's closer, but it does come in handy. And then of course this long flex head snap-on ratchet. All right, now let's go ahead and get down to drawer number 1, since you've seen pretty much everything up here on the top section. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to Jarhead Diagnostics. He's got a kick butt YouTube channel. All right, drawer number 1. You can see this thing is a mess, man. It is an absolute mess. Nothing's really changed here. I've added a couple things. I finally used these quick disconnects from Matco, so now they're up in here. The Gearwrench 90 tooth flex head ratchet wrench that we're going to try out. The Matco's snap-on stubby. Guess they make a shorter version of that. Maybe that's a midget wrench. I don't know. These are some Craftsman double box end wrenches that I have picked up. Those are the made in China ones. They do work out well for certain fasteners where the sizing is just so different that expensive is too tight and cheap is loose as a goose, right? So that sometimes is beneficial. So like I said, you gotta have a mixture of everything. These are some, I think, made in China, double box end, elbow style, and they've held up well. So I dig that. There's the 10-year Gearwrench ratchet wrench set that I've owned, still use and abuse and absolutely love. That's just a bunch of random stuff from what you guys can tell. A couple of mirrors made by Williams. All right, so here is the second drawer. Second drawer is gonna have the Matco screwdriver set. We got the Torx 2, Torx drivers, the snap-on pick set, which I loved. I told you guys why I love that. The handles are nice and thick, but I'm still rocking the little tiny channel lock ones. Those things are also handy because they're super small and I've loved having them. I've reduced the amount of pliers I keep up here in this cart, and I've put the rest of them over here in the overflow, which I'll show you later. I still trust and love this flathead screwdriver hard handle, and so that goes in here. I've got these, this is to cut hose flush. They're hose flush cut pliers, if you will. It cuts hose, bulk hose, nice and straight. I got a hook pick tool here. You guys probably seen, know what that is. Some of the stuff you guys already know. These are the zip tie Knipick snippers. Got some Mac 45ers here. I got my roofing knife. You guys have seen me dangerously trying to cut myself a few times with that thing. Okay, I have the 3-piece set you'll see in the lower drawers, but this is the missing link. It just kind of hangs out here. These are the Van Plier cutting shears. Everyone loves these things, okay? They use them all the time, borrow them from me all the time. Here's those Gearwrench push pin pliers. Love having those things. Handful of other things here. At some point when we get together with Power Stroke Jude, he has asked if he could so kindly have these wonderful lookalikes, which is still made by Knipex, still made in Germany, but it was of the Monster brand. He likes the green handle, so we're gonna hook him up with those when we see him. You guys have probably seen some of this other stuff, so I'm not gonna bore you to tears. But there you go, some more Knipex, some long reach Matco, some Milwaukee vice grip needle nose. Okay, looks like organized chaos to me. Auto center punch for obvious reasons when you have to extract broken off studs or bolts. This thing is awesome to have, get you that nice center hole going, right? And then you throw a pilot bit in there and get it going. Here's a punch and chisel set. Haven't seen Garrett in a few weeks. We'll get the ones that are bent fixed, traded out, and then I'll bring the Cobalt set here and take those home. PT Performance, who says you can't find a nice dead blow from the auto parts store. They're there and they're cheap and they work. Then of course, here's a couple of Matcos. Here's an E-swig that we got from Home Depot. And then we've got a Snap-on. This is a Hyper Tough from Walmart. Tape measure, Stanley Fat Max. This thing's got some nice bright color to it, really, if you look. Pretty bright, love that tape measure. Couple of these little hook tools for hanging calipers. These things are awesome. Here are some Mayhew drift punches. These things, these brass drift punches are awesome to have. The little one didn't survive. We got the Harbor Freight Special. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a Great Neck, but you know, pretty much Harbor Freight Special kind of deal. You can see I've put some leverage behind that. But at any rate, that thing is kind of cool and it's quick, which I can dig. We got the, this is a Matco transmission seal, output shaft seal puller. Beat it with a hammer, works out good, right? Got some indexing pry bars made by Matco. These do come in handy for certain things. This is a tire hubcap puller. There's a Snap-on. We got one of the VIM putty knife scraper tools here. The other one is down in the overflow box. I have a Snap-on lady slipper, but I also have one out of the 3-piece set of Pittsburgh specials, right? So those have held up. These are the Sunx universal magnetic sockets in the 12-point. You guys probably saw me make mention of those. I've been using those and I love them for what they're worth. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the 12-point part. Would like to see Sunx make a 6-point universal. I think those would be beneficial because towards the end, it does seem like when you have it on a gun, it wants to climb right off. So 12-point version has not been my most favorite. See you later, buddy. The 12-point has not been my most favorite version, so I think 6-point would be better. All right, Tribus O2 sensor wrench. Look, okay, here's my thoughts on this thing. It's big, it's heavy duty, it's bulky. It's very, very bulky. It does have a ratcheting mechanism. This thing does come in handy for certain O2 sensors. Not all of them, in fact. Here is a video clip of me using it on one it will not work on. All right, probably not the world's best situation to have an O2 sensor and use of this Tribus. But if I was to slide it over, you'll see in this particular situation, this is not going to work for us. So I'm going to kind of go back to an old trusty one here, which is this weird angle style. And because in this particular situation, I can actually come in over the top and snug it down like so. And this is before I go and install the heat shield and fasteners, but just one situation that the Tribus did not work out, but we'll keep on trying. Other than that, the other thing that I'm not an over-the-top fan of is that when I'm rotating it, if I only got to do it a little bit and the mechanism moves to close, well, now I have to move the thing all the way around for it to be open again so I can feed the wire through and get the tool off. So, look, it's cool. It's heavy duty, but not my most favorite style. Just throwing that out there. I have used it a few times. Not a go-to for me. Just throwing that out there. All right, here's the Cobalt Bit Set. This set actually has come in handy for a couple things I've done on the inside of a car. Not because of the bits themselves, but because of the ratchet. So that's why I like it. I got some chains. Bungee cords are a mechanic's best friend. I'm telling you, You're gonna want as many of those. You're gonna want, you know, ratchet straps. The next drawer, you're gonna want some kind of bungee cord. And here it's just miscellaneous air tools, race drivers, 3-jaw claw, gloves, 1/2-inch torque wrench. This is made by Liesel, and it's a hood prop tool. The top one, if you put this under enough hoods, gets weak and collapses down, and only the bottom one survives. Just food for thought. Did pick this Motive Tools Toyota canister filter removal cap. This does not work on all Toyotas. The outer ring actually does press against the side of the block, but the ones that are straight up and down, it does work out well for. And then of course, this is one for Ford. Here's the other Toyota one. So you can see there's a size difference there. So in order for me to have the clearance I need, the outer ring needs to be gone. So, but that was an Amazon special. Needed it in a pinch, and I needed to get one for Shane too. All right, who doesn't have some kind of junk drawer? I got my Tapatio, my ketchup, my ding dongs. We've got the oversized Gearwrench down in here, an oversized Craftsman that I use all the time. We got some snap-on angle wrenches. We got the snap-on cordless, an extra battery. We got all the 1/2-inch, both the big dog 1/2-inch comfort grips in here. More big wrenches, okay? This is the Icon pick set. Still have not just used it yet. Give me a little bit more time. There's the Gearwrench 92 teeth ratchets, okay? I've been loving these things so far, to be honest. I would compare them to the Matco or even the Snap-on. Look, I would say probably closer to the Matco, to be honest. There's the rest of the set, and you can see which ones that I use and do not use. All right, there is the RBRTs. There is one bit in here that is actually not the right size. It's the same size as another one in this box, and I can't remember if it was 47 and 45. I think those are the ones that are identical. One of them does not work, but the rest of the set, pretty decent, man. Like I said, you know, I've used them a handful of times, and if you have the room to pound them in, they work out well. But in my situation, sometimes the Torx bits, they're so close to the body panels and things like that, you can't pound them on. So I don't know. They're Torx bits. All right, so there is the wrenches. I thought I was not gonna like the 6-point, okay? But I actually do kind of like the 6-point. Not gonna lie, I actually do kind of like the 6-point. All right, let's put some stuff back here. The bottom drawer. Okay, the bottom drawer, I'm not gonna pull it all out, but I got the Snap-on Zeus in there with the dongle and all the test leads and stuff like that in there. Got the Matco bypass relay kit. You can see it's not open yet. My charging dock station and cable. This is a trim tool kit that was from Cornwell that Shane gave me. I have a Matco DVOM down in here. And then I've got this 20-piece tool aid probe kit. And then I have a Sure Shot brake cleaner. This is a timing kit for Volkswagen for the old Jettas that I had. I didn't get a chance to use that. Coolant pressure tester. And this is the Matco Venturi bleeder. All right, here are the Brawn Floodlights. We have been using them, well, I say we. Tommy was using them quite a bit this whole entire week, actually. He said they're fantastic. On the side of my 56 here, I've got a super long pry bar made by Cornwell. We've got the super long 3/8 drive Gearwrench breaker bar style ratchet, and then my AC gauge set, tester gauge set. A couple chargers up here. We got the 18/14.4. Got the Matco one charging and the DeWalt. Again, I'll trade that. The Makita one is going to be out the door with these guys as we're bringing the DeWalt in. Some earbuds. Here's my little charging station. So we got the SP cordless under hood bonnet light. This one's only meant to plug into a car, so I assume it can go in the trash. Still works. This one is my 110 Sabre or ATD under hood light, which plugs in. That's been great. There is a couple of the 1/2 inches up there, and you see the Hercules heat gun, another Sure Shot, and then of course a black UV light. I utilize this vise a lot. Can't remember the name of it, so you'll have to go back and check the video, but I got it at Tractor Supply. So pretty awesome. Remove this chair. let's take a look at what's inside the 56. All right, see what I'm talking about? Those lights put off quite a bit. See, I've only got the one on. All right, let's go ahead and start down here. This is the Makita Sawzall. And this is not a big one. This is the little one. You guys have seen me do videos where I'm using it to cut Jeep exhaust hardware. We've used it for cutting exhaust pipes. That thing is fantastic. So I don't care what anyone says about this small saw. The small saw is mechanic friendly. All right, we also got the Matco tap and die kit. And then this is for organizing engine parts. So as I'm taking out push rods, hydraulic lifters, rockers, things like that, it all goes on there. I haven't had to get too intricate with it, but go to your local market and ask them if they're getting rid of any of these. These things are great for putting pistons in. See how it seats 8? So I could put some 35 over or 40 over pistons in here to hold it just fine. These things are great for lining up your pistons. You can mark front or back, just an idea for you. Block tester, rock and roll. Okay, and there's some miscellaneous hardware and some coolant spill-free funnels that spill all the time. Here's the Jeepers Creepers mat, and this is a Copa Tools brake line reline kit. Haven't had to use it too much, a couple times. Should start off with the bottom. Let's do bottom first. All right, so in here, you see I got my cheat sheets. Gives me torque specs, positioning, degree angles for the 5.7 and a 3.6. I still keep that. Got a lockout kit. Thing comes in handy every week. Got the Gearwrench transmission and engine oil pressure test gauge set. All right, special thanks to whatever employee borrowed it and did not clean the transmission fluid off after they used it. Anyways, goes up to 300 PSI, so we'll leave that up there to clean later. This is supposed to help you out when it comes to shorts or open circuits. Haven't used it at all. Pretty cool kit though. The idea was there. The idea is there. Probably comes in handy for guys that are actually chasing down shorts or opens. We'll get there one day. Okay, this is the Tool Aid Noid light kit, but it also has the idle air testers, and then it's got another one for, anyways, we'll just check it out. It's a spark tester, right? So there is our spark plug tester kit, Noid lights, and then idle air control. This kit is awesome to have. Use the hell out of it. Does come in handy. All right, moving forward. So we got this. This is a Pittsburgh or Harbor Freight special here, baby. But you know what? It comes in handy. This is a fuel pump and vacuum gauge. Love this thing, okay? This thing is definitely strongly recommended from me. If you're down there, check it out. Okay, comes with some nice pieces. Strong recommend from the old Harbor Freightses. This is the Lang leak down tester. You guys have seen that before. No, you haven't. All right. Real quick. There's the leak down tester. I use the hell out of this thing. But it doesn't come with all the adapters. Your adapters come from maybe your Craftsman compression test gauge set. So in here, you're gonna have various attachments that you're gonna need for different thread pitched spark plug holes. All right, somebody said, you're never gonna use that very often. Yes, I have. This thing has been used 6 times in less than 3 weeks. So I would say enough said about that one. That is a kick butt toolkit. That is the snap-on slide hammer. All right, here is our Matco back pressure test gauge kit. This is to test your exhaust, see if you have a clogged cat. That comes in handy, and it's pretty much dummy proof. All right, this is an old Cornwell oil pressure and oxygen sensor kit. These are the things that I would recommend getting. Now, you can get this same exact kit from Gearwrench as well. I believe Lyle has a couple of individual pieces if you only wanted the 7/8, but it is a kit that you are gonna go to. It's gonna be a go-to. CDI torque wrench for rolling torque. I've got a plastic riveter. Below that, we've got a valve spring removal tool, my Matco fuel pressure test gauge kit, 5-ton bearing separator. That's been used 6 times or so since I've had it for about a year now, I think. And then the Honda crankshaft tool. And then some chains, because your boy always needs chain. All right, next drawer. I don't really want to go through all this, okay? Look, everything in here is the exact same. The only new item in this drawer, if you haven't seen the last toolbox tour that I did, is the Capri set. That is the Capri Master Socket Bit Set. And my thoughts are this: kick butt set. I cannot say enough good things about this set. It really is dang good. A lot of people like it. Covers a lot of pieces. No twisting. Good job, Capri. Next drawer. The Overflow Plier bin, okay? Everything in here plier-wise, for the exception of the new Matco oil filter pliers, is the exact same that you guys saw as well. So we're not gonna go into that either. This drawer is exactly the same, for the exception of I took a couple of brake tools home and have not returned them back to work because I was doing drum brakes. Shane helped me with that. Next drawer. Nothing really here has changed either, for the exception of adding the Gearwrench, digital quarter-inch torque wrench, and maybe a couple of the icon things that I was able to actually fit in here. This drawer, nothing really has changed outside of the fact that it's a complete mess. It's all still the same stuff. It's a junk drawer, and it's got oversized Husky and Craftsman sockets. This is oversized SAE Huskies, and these are the oversized Craftsman. And then there's a chrome 6.5 inch from the Cornwell sockets. Then we've got some more Husky specials, I think, down here. No, these are Blue Power. I bought these 12 points specifically for the Jeep, though. Needed a 13mm 12-point deep. We've talked about that. Okay, this is a junk drawer, but it's a good junk drawer because it still has good parts in here. Some of this stuff can be reused if I need to. Some 6.0 clamps, O2 sensors that actually works. Some lines, seal, I don't know why that's in there. Then some hardware. Just my timing light. And the shop does use that when we need to adjust timing. This is just basically an administrative drawer with some measuring tools. We got the long reach. We got some 45s. These are all feeler gauges, right? I got a machinist ruler tucked here in the back. Spark gap checker from Matco. A Fowler rotor micrometer, and then they got just nothing but files. Files of stuff, some RTV, and some more hot sauce, because you know, gotta have hot sauce. This drawer, I don't believe a lot's changed from this drawer, to be honest. We added the Gearwrench picks. We added the snap-on feeler gauges. We added the tap and die sockets. These are for putting the actual tap in there. And to be honest, there was a few taps that I wanted to put in here and it didn't work out well. So I don't know how much good things to say about that. These are the 8-point sockets for the high pressure and the low pressure to remove the valves, okay? Still a couple items in here that I've had that I don't use. So. Bottom drawer, not gonna take anything out but the axle nut sockets. Got the AC probe, you guys have seen that in past videos. And then I got a dial caliper gauge in there, and as well as this Bosch grinder and monster rivet gun. All right, guys, look, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I hope that wasn't too incredibly long, but I got asked enough times that I felt the need to do the video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, smash a thumbs up on your way out the door. And if you're not already subscribed, you can do so by being my bud and smashing that little tiny beer filled with suds in the bottom right-hand corner. We'd appreciate it. Also, make sure to hit that bell so you can be notified of our next video post and when we go live on TGIF Friday. That's all I got for today's video. Thanks as always for watching my channels. Cheers and deuces.